Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn the last part of the short story, The Necklace, part 10, for our English for Business Communication paper. In the previous lectures, we learn about more about the themes of the particular story, that is the deceptiveness of appearance, again the ironical use of the symbol, that is the necklace, and what is how there is a perceived deception is also important one in this short story. So here we learn many themes about the particular short story and life lessons due to this short story. There is no use of false pride and the deceptive nature of a human being. There is no use of deceptive nature. We must follow the truthfulness in our life. See the how Mathaldi danced madly, ecstatically, drunk with pleasure, with no thought of anything, for anything, in the triumph of her beauty, in the pride of her success, in a cloud of happiness made up of this universal homage and admiration, of the desires she had aroused, of the completeness of a victory so dear to her feminine heart. Here we can understand how Mathaldi enjoyed that night, that party, and what happened next, that how it is a quotation used by a writer, and here is a paragraph from the text, how she danced madly, drunk with pleasure, with no thought for anything, in the triumph of her beauty. She thinks that due to that necklace and uh, dress, she is getting too much beautiful for that party. See what is the discussion on the quotation. This quotation appears near the middle of the story. During the party, when Mathaldi is happier than she had ever been or ever would be again, Mathaldi has schemed and strived to get to this moment. She wheeled money from Monsieur Loisel so that she could buy a new dress, and borrowed jewels from Madame Forestier so that she would not look poor among the other women. And her Igeling has been successful. She is greatly admired at the party, and all the men want to dance with her. So, in through this particular quotation, we can understand how she is happy for that only night. This is the moment for which she has been born. In this passage, her happiness is absolute. There is no thought of the past, nor any thought of the party's end. So she never think about the future at that time. She never know if the party is going to end. That she has to return that necklace to the Madame Forestier. When she will return to her ordinary life, in the days that follow, she and Monsieur Loisel will be plunged into deeper poverty than they have ever known. But for now, she has immersed herself completely in the illusion of wealth. See here, this quotation shows us how this is the illusion of the wealth. In her expensive dress for which her husband had to sacrifice, and in the necklace that does not even belong to her. She is feeling the role she believes she deserves. In this moment, nothing else matters. So, this is we can understand how the necklace is become responsible for her husband and her bad life in future. Next quotation, frightened by the pains yet to come, by the black misery which was about to fall upon him, by the prospect of all the physical privation and of all the moral tortures which he was to suffer, he went to get the new necklace, putting down upon the merchant's counter 36,000 francs. See how uh, Loisel bring 36,000 francs and put them on the merchant's counter. This quotation, which appears close to the end of the story, marks the beginning of the Lascelles' plunge into poverty, doomed to work for years to pay off his money loans. Of his many loans, Monsieur Lascelles nonetheless buys the replacement necklace so that Mathilde does not have to admit to her wealthy friend that she lost the original without complaining and with only this sick feeling in his gut. Monsieur Lascelles faces the bleak futures and moves forward. See, she lost the original necklace. She thinks that without complaining and with only this sick feeling in his gut, Monsieur Lascelles faces the bleak future and moves forward. Unlike Mathilde, who cannot see the consequences of her actions and is oblivious to the sacrifices that her husband has made on her behalf, Monsieur Lascelles can see clearly what is in store. This passage reveals the extent of his love for Mathilde. He knows he is giving up everything for her, and it has all been for a goal in he never understand. Where Mathilde is selfish, Monsieur Lascelles is selfless, and this purchase is his ultimate sacrifice. So, here is the sacrifice of Monsieur Lascelles. Monsieur Lascelles is important one. How for love for Mathilde, he also sacrifices his life and happiness in his life. Next quotation is about what would have happened if she had never lost those jewels. Who knows how strange life is, how fickle, how little is needed to ruin or to save. So, see the example of the quotation, that is how little is needed to ruin or to save. The one of the most important line in the or the quotation from the textbook, from the short story, that is how strange life is. See, remember these those lines. How fickle, strange, fickle, how little is needed to ruin or to save. So remember this quotation for your life lessons as well. This quotation appears near the end of the story when Mathilde daydreams during her cleaning. When Mathilde imagines the night of the party, she idolizes it even though this event led to her downfall. She seems to regret nothing about the night except losing the necklace, and she falls to realize that it was her desire to appear to be someone other than herself that ultimately ruined her. So, here, her desire to appear to be someone other than herself is important one. She wants to appear in front of the society as beautiful, rich, and this desire become very uh, bad thing for her and ultimately ruined her life. Despite her hardships, Mathilde has failed to learn from her mistakes. Instead of asking herself what would have happened if she hadn't lost the jewels, she should be asking herself what would have happened if she hadn't borrowed them in the first place. Mathilde believes that life is fickle, but it is she herself who has acted capriciously and brought about her own dire fate. So, due to her work, due to her desires, and due to her willingness of wealth, make her life very bad and poor. So here we can understand how Mathilde failed uh, to lead her life very happily. Shortly after her reverie, she meets Madame Faustus again and learns that the necklace had been worthless. Had she simply told Madame Faustus she lost the necklace, she would have learned right away that it was costume jewelry and would not have sacrificed everything to buy a replacement. Truly little would have been needed to save Mathaldi. So here we can understand how Mathaldi's life became miserable due to the necklace and her desires. Here we can understand throughout these different parts of our lectures that there is no use of false pride and the deceptiveness of appearance. We should not show our appearance deceptively to show others, uh, or we should not do the show business, and we always know what we are. So, there are two parts you learn from this particular short story. One is how it is a short story written by writer for the understanding of the life, and second part you learn the lesson about how there is no use of false pride and the deceptive nature. In the next lecture we will learn about the module number 7 part B, I Thank You God poem by Bernard Daddy. Till then, thank you.